Hi, this is Sebastian, and welcome to the Unicorn Gathering. And today we're going to talk about 7 ways you can upgrade or level up your frequency or vibration. 7 things that you can do to really give yourself a potent spiritual, energetic leap during the day and just to help your life move in a more positive direction. So, yes, these are some things that I like to do every day, and they are extremely potent. So if you do them every day, they're going to make a huge impact on your life. And if you do them all every day, whoa, watch out. You're going to go to the moon. It's like a rocket ship. We're going. Oh my God. Turbulence of awesome. It's tubular. So I like to do Shavasana every day, and I like to do Shavasana between activities. Shavasana just means, I'm sure if you've heard this term before, it just means laying in a relaxation pose. But relaxation is something that needs to be active at this point because we are not a naturally relaxed creature at this point in time on Earth. We don't just lay down and relax. That's generally not what happens. So Shavasana needs to sort of be actively kind of engaged with. And one way you can actively engage in Shavasana is by very intentionally scanning your body and very intentionally relaxing your feet, your knees, your hips, your butt. We oftentimes clench our butts, right? Our stomachs, our shoulders are big ones, our necks, jaws, forehead, holding a lot of tension up here. And just really intentionally keep relaxing and letting go. And that will put you in a kind of a meditative state, or you'll fall asleep, which is good. If you fall asleep, you needed it. Great. Wonderful. You need to be somewhere, just make sure to set an alarm. Even though that's not great, alarms aren't great because it's like, ooh, it startles us back awake. But if you really are like worried, I'm going to fall asleep and I have to be somewhere at a certain time, just set an alarm. So now that you're in Shavasana, which is one method for really, it's a good method to do every single day. I like to do it as soon as I wake up and I kind of, go to the bathroom. I like to go back in bed and do Shavasana, where I just lay in bed and get myself super, super relaxed. And kind of like, it's like taking a bath. It's like meditating, but laying down. And so your whole body gets to relax, because I find that I'm more relaxed when I'm laying down, and I don't fall asleep very easily, so I never fall back asleep or anything like that. If you do fall asleep easily, you can just get into a meditative posture and meditate for a little bit. But it's really, really important to do Shavasana maybe after you get home from work, or you get home from anything and you're kind of crazy, or you get off the phone with somebody, or you get done with doing something stressful on the computer, or any time when everything gets riled up, or you're feeling kind of emotional. It's important to do Shavasana. Just lay down and let your energy system, emotions settle and relax and process. Don't put anything new into your body. Give yourself a clean slate so that you can do some integrating and processing. Once you've gotten into like a place where your mind's not racing and you're feeling more emotionally calm and your energy's not fried, you can do these other methods. So one of the first things I like to do also is just to check in with where I am that day. I like to check in with each of my bodies. So I like to check in to see where my physical body is. Like how in touch with my physical body I am. Sometimes I can't feel my physical body very well. That means that I'm not probably in my body. If you can't feel any sensation in your physical body, you're probably not super in your physical body. But so you can just see, am I in my physical body? Is there any aches or pains or tension that is in my physical body? And just notice those areas and see if you can add some relaxation. Then the next place I like to check in with is my emotional body. What am I feeling? Can I get in touch? What's the overwhelming emotion? If there is an overwhelming emotion, there might not be, but if there is, what is it? Is it grief, sadness, heaviness? Is it more anger? Or is it more fear? Am I kind of freaking out? Those are kind of the three big ones. But if we're not feeling anything in particular, it's a good exercise to see if you can find your anger. That's always there. Find your sadness, your grief. It's always there. Find your fear. Kind of get in touch with each of these emotions. Say, hi, what's up? How you doing? Love you. Glad you're here with me. How you doing today? Get in touch with our happiness. Get in touch with our joy. Get in touch with love. Just touch base and know that those are things that you can conjure up, have relationships with anytime. So a lot of times we think emotions are out of control, I'm just overwhelmed. Yeah, that's because we intentionally ignore our emotions, and then they start really wanting our attention because we're not giving them our attention kind of on a regular basis by ourselves. So just doing this practice and giving ourselves emotional attention before it gets crazy is actually a really great thing to do, and to recognize there's always happiness and joy present, and if we want to bring that up and amplify it, we just give it attention. We just go into our little house of emotions, find it, and then we're like, you know what, I want to be happy, I want to just find the happiness, alright, and then I'm going to amplify it by giving it attention. Now, I have to say that this is kind of a little bit advanced, meaning that first off, just knowing what you're feeling it might be really difficult for people to actually know what they're feeling and to identify emotions. And a lot of times we get a lot of validation and support for not feeling anything, so we can be like, I'm fine. So it's so important to sort of build this repertoire and build this relationship with our emotional body. But if you're not there yet, that's okay. We can just start at a very basic level. Am I feeling something? I am, but I'm not sure what it is. But I am feeling it, and just to be present with it, just to be present. I'm feeling some discomfort. It's painful. I don't really want to feel it. It could just be that. That's great. That's perfect. Next thing you want to check in with is your brain. What am I thinking about? What am I obsessing about or not obsessing? Is my brain quiet? Is it relaxed? Is it inspired? Is it thinking about somebody or something that happened prior? Is it obsessing about the future? Is it tinged with emotions? Like, is it fearful thinking? Is it sad thinking? You know, that's a great way to find out what you're feeling is, what are you thinking about? And that can lead to great information about what you're feeling. So just check in mentally where you're at. The next thing is to check in energetically. Do you feel like you can jump out of bed and you're ready to go and your energy's like popping, or do you feel kind of tired, exhausted, or do you feel like your energy system, like your nervous system's fried, or tired where you're exhausted but also like wired at the same time? You know, just check in with your energy system. Like, are your nerves frayed? You know, like you can feel kind of like, especially for people with challenged nervous systems like me, sometimes your energy you can be laying there and it feels like you're like the energy's like this. Even if your physical body's really tired and heavy, your energy can just be going like that. So check in with your energy system, and this is just a simple like exercise of paying attention. You don't need to change or manipulate anything. You're just being like, okay, so that's what's going on with the physical body, that's what's going on with the mental body. Just taking note. Okay. That chicken's brown, that chicken's white, you know what I mean? Alright, and then you want to check in spiritually. Where are you spiritually? Do you feel as if you can relate to the statement that everything is happening for my soul's highest good and evolution? Everything that's happening in my life is for my soul's highest good and evolution. I trust and have faith that everything is unfolding perfectly, and I feel very confident about that. Now that if you can really connect with those statements and like, yeah, that means you're spiritually connected. If you're like, I don't know what the fuck you're talking about, that means you're probably not spiritually connected. That's fine, that's great, that's just where you're at. Some days I feel like I can trust the universe. I could just, if the universe is like, go walk off that cliff, I'd be like, I'm there, I can do this. I'm not, no questions. And sometimes the universe is like, go over there. I'm like, why the fuck do you want me to go over there? Huh? It's dangerous. I've been over there before and I got shot. I'm not going over there. So, trust and faith. I really enjoy myself. This is what happens when you spend a lot of time alone. You either become friends with yourself, or you don't, but it's best to become friends. Alright, so the next thing I'm probably going to get into, I'm not sure which order to kind of go. I would set intentions. Setting intentions, God, it's kind of like a cliche thing. It's talked about a lot, but wow, it is potent. Because we're a ship in the middle of the ocean, and there's these things that we want, but if we don't set an intention, then the ship's not going to go that direction. And then we're like trying to do all these things in order to get the ship to go over there, but we haven't set the intention. So the first thing that you need to do in the morning is set an intention for your day. You know, my intention today, I'll share some of my intentions lately. My intention is to open up my heart, or to open up my heart at the deepest level, to keep my heart open, to stay really connected. My intention is to trust, to let go, to trust the flow of life. My intention is to have a lot of healing in my day and relaxation. My intention is to receive and to let financial abundance and prosperity come to me, something like that. It can be anything, you know. I intend that no matter what happens today, I'm going to be in a good mood. I intend to experience happiness today. Even if you're not happy in the morning, who's happy when they wake up, you know? If everyone was happy, then the world obviously wouldn't be in the state that it's in. So important just to have an intention. Set the intention, and then let it go. You don't need to worry about it or obsess about it. Just set the intention and let it go. And the next thing you can do is ask for help. This is one that makes a massive difference, a huge difference, and is something that I'm pretty sure no one's doing. Ask for help from your guides, from your angels, from your ancestors, from your teachers, from the masters, anything from people that have passed over and transitioned and that are got your back and on your team on the other side. Ask them for help. They cannot help you unless you ask. I'll say that again. They cannot help you unless you ask, and let them help you. They're just sitting around twiddling their thumbs. Gosh, I wonder when Sebastian is going to like let us help him. We're just like sitting here and it's so kind of boring, and like he's suffering so much and we love him, but we can't do anything because the rules are, because he has free will, he's got to ask us for support before we can help him out. So ask. Please, guys, angels, anybody who's got my soul's highest good, all the creatures and fairies, all the beautiful, magical unicorns out there, anyone on the other side that's got my back, please help and guide me. My higher self, please help and guide me through this day, through these obstacles, through all the feelings that I'm having today. Help me understand and deal with them gracefully, and help me approach myself in gentleness and love today. Give me guidance. I don't know what I'm doing. I don't know how to do this. If there's something in your life that you're munching on, you're just like having the hardest time, like, I don't know how to do this, please guide and help me through this process. I promise you, friends. I promise you, it makes a big difference. So far we're in Shavasana. We've done relaxation exercise. We've checked in with our bodies. We've set some intentions. We asked for guidance. Now, some other two things that are really good is gratitude practice. Now, this is something also that's very widely talked about. Something that's difficult to kind of just like make yourself do, but it's very powerful, is to just like think of the things that you're thankful for. Now, you can be thankful for them and not be feeling necessarily gracious. Like, you're like, I'm grateful that I have electricity, and you're like, I don't give a fucking shit if I have electricity. You know what I mean? Some days you're like, especially if you've maybe been to somewhere that didn't have electricity or whatever. Some days you're just like, God, I'm so fucking thankful that, I'm not going through this and this. You really are feeling thankful. Some days you're not. You're just like, I'm in a bad mood and whatever. But just to even go through your mind of things that you're actually thankful for, and just to go through it, just like, okay, I'm thankful for this, thankful for that. Do it long enough, and it's going to start changing your frequency very subtly, but it will change it. And if you do it every day, it's huge. Just to be, and if you do it all day, every day, oh, I'm really grateful. The other day, I was like not feeling great. I was in a lot of emotional pain. Well, actually, I think it was more physical pain. And I was like, oh, God, I just feel bad. And then it popped into my mind. I was like, I'm grateful for this experience. And I can sort of barely conjure up. And honestly, I don't think I've ever said that to myself while I felt that physically bad. And I've been feeling physically bad for quite a long time now. And so I said I was great. It was like, I was like, I don't know why I'm feeling this way. I don't know why I have to go through this experience. I don't understand. But I'm grateful for it. I know it's helping me somehow. I don't know how, but I am grateful for it. And just to muster that up, that is a pretty great state of consciousness to be in. So you're not reacting, you're not complaining, you're not spinning in the pain. You've got a beautiful perspective to back it up. And it is very difficult to be grateful for those things in our life that cause us inconvenience, that causes pain, that causes suffering, that causes struggle. To trust that those things are actually helping us. Those things are actually for our soul's highest good. Those things are actually trying to get us where we want to go. It's just we don't have a bird's eye view unless we're checking in with God every day, the Goddess, God X, or our higher selves every single day, and being like, okay, let me get a bird's eye view on my life and be like, why the fuck is this happening? Oh, it's trying to help me. So gratitude practice, really important, hard to do, I find. Some people get good at it, and they get really good at being gracious. Some people are very naturally grateful. I wouldn't say, I'm the kind of an impatient, I'm a little bit of an impatient person, so something that I need to work on. Another thing, praying. Praying is great. Praying is just like sending positive intentions and positive thoughts to other people. You can pray for yourself. Please, that's the same thing as getting guidance. Please help me with this. Please support me. Giving guidance and praying, same thing. But praying can also be for other people. I pray for humanity. I pray that anyone that's suffering right now receive help from their angels and guides. I pray that this specific person in my life receives a break from their suffering, some soothing, some consciousness so that they can get through what they're going through. Praying for other people is great. Sending positive thoughts, thinking about people and sending loving thoughts. It makes a massive difference. There's been massive scientific studies all over the place around this. Thoughts and prayers do make a fucking difference, even though they're put down on the internet so often. Thoughts and prayers make a massive difference if you're actually sending the thoughts and prayers. Something that does happen is people do say thoughts and prayers, but then they don't actually pray or send the positive thoughts. That does take effort and intention. You do have to be in a specific place where you're kind of in a meditative space and you're thinking about this person, you're conjuring up the positive emotion, a genuine, authentic care, and you're sending it to them. If you're not actually doing that and you're like thinking about you or sending prayers or sending positive vibes and you're not actually doing that, then yeah, that's bullshit. But thoughts and prayers do work when you're actually doing it, like massively. We are so connected, y'all. These little energetic cords, they connect all of us, especially people that we know and who are in our lives as friends, family, etc. If they're in our lives, we're connected to them a lot. You're just sending, we're just you're pretending like there's like energetic cords, like telephone lines between all of us. And now we got cell phones, so things are just bouncing off the satellite. We can believe that. But we can't believe that we're energetically connected, psychically connected, constantly, especially the people you have really potent connections with. You're sending things back and forth all the time. So make sure you don't got no toxic people in your life, because they could be sending you pieces of poop every day. More on that later. Alright, praying. The last practice is a little bit more involved. Mantras, positive affirmations. Well, it's a little bit more involved than that, because if I just say a positive affirmation, I love myself, that's a great one. I love you. I love you. Or I am powerful. I'm going to have a great day today. This person loves me. I'm good at my job. Anything. It can be any positive affirmation. What happens is, if we do an affirmation and generally speaking, these positive affirmations are going 100% opposite to belief systems that are buried deep in our subconscious mind. And those subconscious belief systems get triggered when we say something like, I'm a really wonderful person. And then suddenly all these beliefs where you were told that you were worthless and a piece of shit growing up, like society, culture, your peers, your parents, whatever, your family, they get triggered, because if they haven't been deleted from your computer, your bio entity here, they're going to come up and be like, nuh-uh, you're a piece of shit. And God, I hope that thought does not jump into your mind. But if it does, whoa. Make some boundaries around that. We don't want that negativity in us. But generally what's speaking, we can do affirmations and we can start getting anxious. We can have some anxiety, some emotional feelings come up that can be like, not make us feel great. Or we're already not feeling great and we try positive affirmations. Well, that's okay. What you're doing is stirring the pot, and you're basically fishing for belief systems that are the antithesis, the opposite of those positive beliefs, because those positive beliefs are much higher vibration, they're of a higher frequency, and those lower beliefs, those really negative beliefs, very dense vibrations, and they are actually inserted into our physical, emotional, and energetic body. This is why you can muscle test for beliefs. I don't know if you all know about muscle testing, but you can muscle test to see if does this person really think this about themselves, this positive belief, and your muscles can, which is not really your muscles, the energy running through your muscle goes weak, and you're like, that person does not actually anchor that belief system inside of themselves. That's why their external reality looks like does. And again, it's not an individual thing. We're all collectively creating. We've all collectively agreed on a lot of things, like that money has inherent value, like paper has inherent value. Numbers, our bank account have inherent value. That's a collective belief. So we're all feeding into collective belief systems constantly. It's not an individual thing, but individually you are influencing the collective. If you start having positive beliefs about yourself, you're dramatically altering the collective consciousness. Dramatically altering it. And having positive beliefs about yourself makes you more of a creator than a consumer, and it makes you less of a victim, and it makes you less of a person that's just a victim to their own lives, doesn't feel like they are empowered to do anything or make changes in their lives, or to make changes for the betterment of humanity. So positive beliefs and affirmations are really important, but not just mindlessly doing it. You can mindlessly do it, just like you just do a mindless mantra every day. But you have to know that it's going to start pulling up like a magnet. Any belief system and emotions that don't belong there is going to start pulling up. So momentarily, you might say an affirmation and feel worse. I'm a really good person. Oh, suddenly you're like, ugh, I feel so bad. Let the pot get stirred, the negative emotion come up, or the negative belief suddenly jump into your mind. If I say to you, you look beautiful today, or you're so sexy, and you're like, oh God, no I'm not. and this is a negative belief coming in, maybe that's a mantra that you need to hang out with for a while and just say that to yourself. But again, what happens when I say, for example, I'm sexy, all of these emotions and all these things like, no, you're not, those are actually getting triggered more. And so you can actually feel, at first, worse. Or if you're just like, I love you, and you're like, what bullshit? I don't feel that. Yeah, you're not gonna feel it at first. You're gonna feel shitty at first. This is brand new, and you're still detoxing all of these beliefs that are negative. So you've got to be really patient with yourself, sit with yourself, let these emotions come up, be loving with them, be attentive to them, be loving and attentive to your beliefs, and just let them go. By giving them acknowledgement, validation, thank you for being here. That was really hard to have that belief system in me for so goddamn long time. But now I feel so much better. I feel so much better. Now that I don't think I'm a piece of shit, and I'm actively encouraging and loving myself. By telling myself, you're a really good person. You're a really loving person. You're a really tender-hearted person. You give so much to everyone every day. You're absolutely the most generous person. Thank you. Thank you for being here. And you'll suddenly, after you do that enough, you'll actually start feeling it, and it won't feel so fake, and you'll actually feel good. And if you ever say something to yourself, and it just immediately you're just like, no, it doesn't feel true, you're just like, it feels so hard to believe it, then you know there's some negative beliefs inside of you that you're holding. So how can you get respect and validation from other people in your life if you are not respecting or validating yourself because you hold a belief inside of you, a belief that was given to you a long time ago, that you're no good, that you're worthless. Then you're like, I don't understand why people treat me like I'm worthless. They're reflecting what you feel about yourself. We are programmed and conditioned like viruses on our computer. And it is really up to us to delete all of that nastiness and help each other delete that nastiness by being affectionate and complimentary and saying positive things to people all the time. But you know what? It's really hard to do that if you haven't been positive and complimentary to yourself first. Empaths can kind of compliment each other, everyone else, without complimenting themselves. They are good at that. They are an exception to the rule. So empaths, you have got to focus on yourself. Make sure that you're giving yourself compliments and validation and feedback. So we got a little bit off the beaten path there. But yeah, those are all the methods. Very potent, very powerful. See if you can try some of them. Again, some of them are very commonplace. You hear about them a lot. But try them. This is, nothing's going to change in your life unless you actually start doing this stuff. You can research and listen to all the things you want to and read, blah, blah, blah. If you don't start implementing it, nothing's going to change. But if you start, this is very potent stuff, very powerful. You're going to see changes very quickly. Very quickly. So praying / asking for guidance, gratitude, mantras or positive affirmations / letting yourself have those negative emotions and negative thoughts come up so that you can start detoxing them and setting intentions, checking in with yourself, just with all your bodies, relaxing in Shavasana, letting go, intentionally letting go. So that is all I've got for you today. I hope that you enjoyed this video. I hope that you're having a wonderful spring. I hope that you're feeling yourself, and if you're not, if you're in pain, you're having a hard time, I hope that you are being gentle with yourself while you're going through a deep healing experience. That's right. When we're in pain, we're likely going through a healing experience. And we need more of ourselves, not less of ourselves. Now, I'm saying all of this stuff from a place where I am struggling every single day to practice it, and I fall on my face flat all the time, and it's fucking hard. So I'm not just some, guppy gup, grumpy grump. This is my life. That's why I want to share it with you. Alright, I'm going to go, and much love. Again, if you would like a Vedic astrology reading or a spiritual guidance session, check me out and let's set something up. It will change your life. I have no doubt about it. The information is in the links below. Alright, love you all. Talk to you soon. Bye.